Across to Sajid, who's standing by with the FNO snapshot. Sajid, it's obviously a day of recovery this Monday. But tell us, what does the FNOQ indicate for Tuesday in the day of trade?
That's right. It's a day of recovery with the Nifty trying to inch towards 23,000 at close, but there's a strong defense or resistance coming in at 23,000 for the Nifty. And if you look at how the market ended, 1% higher with the open interest of nearly 2.73% on Monday, it primarily gives an indication of the kind of shorts that's getting created as the Nifty inched up towards the second half of the day. Nifty Bank again in a smart move coming in the second half, up nearly 2%, led by some short covering and long position building that happened across private and private and public sector banks. Open interest down nearly 1.84, so that gives an indication of unwinding of positions that happened there. But look at the snapshot of Nifty Bank, and you'll get to see that a lot of bank stocks were having a lot of long position build-up, which happened. HDFC started the day with some shorts, but ended the day with longs. There's ICICI Bank was short during the day, early morning trade, and then it ended up in long. So there's a long buying happening across the board in all the Nifty Bank, most of the Nifty Bank stocks, with the index up over 1,060 in today's trade. Look at how the Nifty options played out, and that gives you a good indication of where the call writers and put writers have been fighting today. 23,000 is where we saw towards the end of the day put writers being more than the call writers there, but at the same time you've seen some push back for the call writers, and the positions have moved towards 23,200 and 23,500, where call writers have taken additional positions. But during the day we saw the put writers adding positions in 22,800 and 22,900, and that, if you look at the distribution chart, that gives you a good picture of where we are. Call continues to be strong at 23,000, but if you look at each of the strike levels, there's good amount of put writing which is coming in with base of 22,500 as a good support for the Nifty there. So that's something which was playing out in today's market. Future gainers included Trent and Kalyan, so retail was at play today. Adani Green was up 8% in today's trade. If you look at other stocks, losers in futures, you'll see stocks like Reliance, which was down 3%, and that was perhaps the largest dragger for the Nifty in today's trade. Marico and Oil India were the other stocks. So oil stocks and refinery stocks were in weak footing as we speak. Open interest gainers included stocks like Force Motors, where we saw some short build-up happening. Adani Power, we saw long build-up, and Vishal Mega, we saw some long build-up. In the open interest losers, we had stocks like Blue Star, short covering, saw the stock up in today's trade. Tata Tech also saw some stock short covering, and BDL also saw some short covering. So overall, it was a day where we were able to hold on to the gains and pushed the envelope a little higher towards 23,000. Let's see, it's Tuesday being a Nifty Options expiry. It's going to be a little volatile, and in this week we have a couple of central bank decisions coming in, which RBI on Wednesday, and then you have the minutes of a Fed meeting coming on Wednesday. So there will be a lot of volatility which will be there, aside of the Trump-led volatility, which is, of course, has been the case for the last 1 month.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Sajid. That gives you a kind of picture